Foundation says, and I'm quoting them verbatim here, over 12 times as much energy is produced from oil, gas, and coal in Africa than from renewables like hydro, wind, and solar. We also know that on the African continent, the African Development Bank Group says over 640 million Africans have no access to energy. And so let's speak to Leon van der Merve. He's Africa Energy Week's conference director. Leon, thanks so much for your time on Hot Business this evening. Just knowing those statistics, what's the outlook and what's happening with energy on the African continent? And I know that's difficult because we're not just one homogenous continent.
Good evening, Nzinga. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Well, I think there's a lot of challenges. I think we're faced with, we like to refer to them as the two evil stepchildren being, energy poverty and climate change. That is the two biggest issues that we're facing in the energy sector in Africa and globally. And that is why we have initiated Africa Energy Week, which is taking place in Cape Town, CTICC, from the 16th to the 20th of October in Cape Town, to address these challenges and to get, the key stakeholders together and innovators with brilliant minds so that we can really have robust conversations and not just addressing these challenges, but implementing certain, ways to really fix this and to drive this. I think it's everybody is well aware of the electricity crisis that we're facing in South Africa, and Africa Energy Week is a movement. It's not just a conference. We held the governments and all the bodies accountable to assure that the citizens and all the people living in South Africa and in Africa gets their basic human rights.
It's so odd, that statistic about how we using, maybe things from the ground as opposed to using also the resources that we have in abundance in Africa, like sunlight. So when you think about the trends and opportunities in African energy markets, does that aspect of it need to be capitalized more than maybe the oil, gas, and coal that we're used to?
Thank you so much. Definitely. I think the most important aspect, and we at the Africa Energy Chamber are not scared to voice the fact that an energy mix is needed. Everybody speaks about a just energy transition, and the just section of it is to assure that we have everything in place to assure a net zero or greener pastures, looking into more hydrogen and renewables, to get us out of this dark hole that we're in. So we do believe that oil and gas has got its place, hydro has got its place, renewables has got its place, everybody has got its place, and we all need to work together to fix this huge challenge we are faced with globally.
When it comes to innovations, I'm assuming that because you've got so many stakeholders from around the world, around the continent and the country, that technology and different ways of doing business in the energy sector is also going to be top of mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. This year's theme at Africa Energy Week is the Africa Energy Renaissance. And a lot of people think we stole that from Beyonce's tour. It's definitely not that. but that definitely symbolizes our unwavering dedication to, as I said, combat energy poverty, climate change, prioritize the well-being of African people and the planet, securing energy growth, propelling industrialization and nurture free markets. And that can only be achieved by embracing the new technologies, by embracing the new ways. There's a lot of development being made and a lot of progress being made on the African continent. And we need to really take that and highlight that and get those individuals and those brilliant minds in the right rooms with individuals that can utilize that in the specific countries and really assist in addressing these challenges. So technology plays an extremely important role, and it's all about, assisting in getting these guys together so that we can all work together, because at the end of the day, the responsibility lies upon each and every one of us.
And then when it comes to sustainable energy solutions, I know you've spoken about the just transition and the importance of that and the right energy mix. I mean, I don't want to just think about it from a South African point of view, but how do you think about that? How do you think about creating solutions not only for us, but for the generations that are going to come after us?
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you're addressing this. You know, at Africa Energy Week, we have a different approach. And as I said, it's not a conference, it's a movement. And it's all about accountability. And it's all about getting, you know, people involved that's not usually involved. And I'm so glad you're mentioning youth. We're starting off on the 16th of October with something we call a Just Energy Transition Concert. This concert, we've secured international Afro-Piano acts to come and literally perform at this conference with a very strong message on energy, the challenges we're facing, you know, and the whole purpose of hosting and starting off with this Just Energy Transition concert is specifically to accommodate the youth, to get the youth participation, to get them actively involved in these discussions. We've seen in, you know, specifically the energy sector, unfortunately, it's a lot of men with gray hair, you know, and the youth are not participating. We need to hear their voices. They are the future. They need to take part in these type of conversations. It is so important for us to get them involved. So this is one of the ways we are getting the youth interested and getting them to participate. We have other fellowship programs running. We're also securing, you know, complimentary passes to certain students in the energy sector. So getting the youth on board to actively take part is one of our main priorities. We also have, for example, a youth session, a youth panel session, where we specifically address, as I said, these challenges and really listen to the youth and what challenges they're facing. So that's very exciting. Looking forward to that. And it's you know, it's a very fine line to have these serious conversations, but to introduce it in such a way that, you know, the youth would understand and the youth would actively want to participate in this entire energy sector.
Leon van der Merwe, the Conference Director of African Energy Week that's taking place in Cape Town from the 16th of October. Thanks so much for your time on Hot Business this evening. Really appreciate your insights, Leon.
It's such a pleasure. Speak to you again soon and hope to see you in Cape Town.
Thanks, Leon. When we